Alors, le plaisir qu'on a maintenant, effectivement, c'est d'accueillir un grand témoin. Il s'agit de Mohamed Yunus, il est prix Nobel de la Paix. Vous savez qu'il est également économiste, entrepreneur. Il a fondé en 1976 la première institution de microcrédit qui s'appelle la Bank. Hello, nice meeting you. We are going to listen to you. Thank you.
Hello. Yeah. Should I speak now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Et vous pouvez bien sûr mettre vos écouteurs, canal 2. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I can't speak in French. I have to speak in English.
Oh.
Delighted to be here with you, and I'm very happy that this gives me an occasion about talking about my frustrations, my worries, and the way I see the future. When Corona pandemic began, it began in such a fast way, in a kind of lightning speed, taking over the whole world. And suddenly we are in a completely different situation than we have ever known. And one of the first victims of this invasion of Corona is the people who are in the lower end of income, say the bottom half of the entire population of the world, who are basically $2 a day kind of income level. They are the ones who are hard hit right away because they keep on living by their daily income, by selling things on the street, the little handicraft, or selling their labor in the informal market. When the Corona came, in order to save ourselves, we are all required to go in a lockdown, go inside our homes. The streets were empty, shops are empty, workplaces are empty, businesses are stopped. So these are the people who are hard hit because they lost all their income. These are millions and millions of people around the world, half the population, earning population of the world. So they didn't have any income. When you don't have income, you don't have any food on your table. So they lost the food because there's hardly any savings for them. So whatever little savings they had went for a few days and then it's over. So this is the terrible situation that happened to the half the population of the world. And they were sad things to watch on the television, that millions of people walking from cities trying to go home because they cannot survive in the city anymore, because they cannot pay the rent, they cannot pay for the food. So they are trying to find shelter in their own home. So that raises a big question to the world, what kind of economy we have built, where people have to go hundreds of miles away just for survival livelihood. Why can't we create an economy where people can have survival economy right around the place where they are born? It's simply our misunderstanding of the people's needs. So that's weaknesses that we have seen in the Corona pandemic. Then we saw these people who are, as I said, more than half the population of the world. These are described by the economist or explained by the economist. These people form the informal economy. Informal economy meaning that they have no rules, they have no regulations, they have no government support, they have no institutions. So they are on their own. Basically, they are on their own. These are the people. And if you look at the informal sector, country by country, there's more than half the population of the world. In Bangladesh, India, it is near about 70%. 70% of the people who fall into the category, what economists call informal sector. Informal sector meaning that the economists have nothing to do with them anymore, and as a result, governments have nothing to do with them. Only in the rich countries, they provide subsidies, they provide welfare, but most of the countries, they cannot afford to give them subsidies, they cannot provide them welfare payment. So they are on their own. For the people who are on their own, I said they shouldn't be described as informal sector because this is really a powerhouse rather than a burden on the society. They are the most important part of the society because they are on their own. They come with their creative power. They use their own creativity, their own enterprise. They're basically entrepreneurs. So I would call this sector as a micro-entrepreneurial sector. These are the people who live on their own entrepreneurial skills. They can sell, they can do things, they can sell something in the market and create some income for themselves, a livelihood for themselves. So if you recognize them as micro-entrepreneurial sector, which is 70% of the population of the most of the countries, is a huge population. The moment you recognize them as micro-entrepreneurial sector, suddenly you see them from a different light, different context, because this becomes a part of the entire entrepreneurial structure of the country. If you look at it as an entrepreneurial pyramid, they constitute the base of the pyramid. And then if you go at the top, you have the multi-billion-dollar entrepreneur of the pyramid. And then in the middle of the pyramid, you have the multi-million-dollar entrepreneur. At the base of the pyramid, which we are talking about, the micro-entrepreneurs, they are the multi-hundred-dollar entrepreneurs. But they are entrepreneurs, they're same class. If you recognize them as such, then we have to pay attention to certain things. Where do they get the investment money to create these micro-entrepreneurs, micro-enterprises? They have to go to the loan sharks. And the loan sharks are the one who provide the finance for their work. And globally, this is what the situation is. And the loan sharks are the people who take away whatever income micro-entrepreneurs get. Bulk of the income is taken away by the loan sharks. So very little is left for the micro-entrepreneurs. As a result, they cannot move up because there is no formal financing system for them. So I said, if you recognize them as micro-entrepreneurs, then you have to create a financing system for the micro-entrepreneurs so that they can grow by themselves. You have to remove the loan sharks from the picture because the loan sharks are the one who is diverting all the energy from the micro-entrepreneurs by taking away their money. So we need to create that micro-entrepreneurial bank. So I said, this is the most important thing government can do now after you recognize them as micro-entrepreneurial sector, create social business micro-entrepreneurial bank so that they can provide the financing to all these people. That's what we did when we create microcredit. That's what we did when we create Grameen Bank. Now Microcredit Grameen Bank became worldwide. Now nobody can say it doesn't work. Nobody say it cannot be run in a business way, meaning in a sustainable way. Of course it can be done in a sustainable way. Only thing we warn people that when you do microcredit, one important thing you have to remember, which we did from the beginning, it has to be designed as a social business. What is a social business? Social business is different from conventional business. In the conventional business, all businesses are run for profit maximization. So everybody, the entrepreneur and everybody within the enterprise are working to maximize the profit for the owners of the company, owners of the businesses. So that's the focus of the conventional businesses, the businesses that we are familiar, businesses which are talked about in the economics textbook. We said there's another kind of business, business to help people, solve problems of the people, solve problems of the people. So there we create business to solve people's problem without making any personal profit out of it. So it's a non-dividend business. Unlike the conventional business where profit maximization is the goal, in the new business that we are suggesting and we are practicing, which we call social business, is a business not to make money at all. It's a non-dividend company. So we do business not to make money, to do what? To help people, to solve the problems of the people. Why should anybody do that? Conventional economists explain to us human beings are driven by self-interest. So they made self-interest as the only characteristics of human being. I said, that's a shame. Human being is much bigger than that. Human beings are not self-interest driven entities. Human beings are made of two kinds of interest. One is the self-interest, which is the selfishness of people, and the other one is common interest that we have shared with everybody else, like having water, like having a good climate, good healthcare system. These are common interests. It's not personal interest. So we can run businesses to solve the problem of the common interest. So in that business, we don't want to make money. So we can create two kinds of business: social business and the conventional business. So here it is. We want to make sure when you do microcredit banks, it should be designed as a social business. Otherwise, the danger is when you create microcredit banks, it may turn into loan shark itself. Our aim is to remove or compete out all the loan shark from the system. That's what our objective. But we don't want to create new type of loan sharks. That's not the idea. So right from the beginning, we designed microcredit banks as a social business. And for entrepreneurs, credit is the fuel of enterprise. If you don't give the fuel, it cannot grow. But unfortunately, that fuel is controlled by loan sharks here globally. So we said, why don't we create a new system, microcredit banks, and that will take care of this. So this is the outcome of the realization what we felt during the pandemic period. It's very important that we pay attention to this thing, because it's not a problem of Bangladesh, it's not a problem of India, it's a problem of entire world. We even run microcredit programs in the United States, the richest country in the world. They don't have any financing for the people at the bottom, extreme bottom. They have to go to the loan sharks. Their loan sharks are known as payday lenders and many other names. And if you don't pay them back, they will break your neck, they will break your leg. That's the methodology they use. And it exists, it flourishes. You go anywhere, you'll see payday lenders and so on. So why can't we create microcredit banks, which we have done in the United States, called Grameen America? And Grameen America provides financing for the extremely poor people in the United States. We work in 25 cities, in 15 cities with 25 branches all over the United States, in New York, in Los Angeles, San Francisco, in Houston, and Boston, and many other cities. And we have 150,000 borrowers, all of them are women. Startup loan is something like $700, $800. You'll be amazed how desperate they are to get to that kind of money. $700 is such a big money for them. And they transform their life by using this money to invest in business and so on and so forth. So the credit is something that the weaknesses of the system is more revealed during the pandemic system. So this is one area that we should be paying a lot of attention to. Another area that drew my attention, and I got very worried about it. I got worried because every country, every government was trying to mobilize everybody to get ready to run, to go back to the position, bring the position of the economy back to the place where it was before the pandemic began. They want to go back before January 2020, when the pandemic began. So they want to go back to December 2019, the economy that it was. They want to create, now that the corona has stopped the economy, they want to restart the economy and rush to the pre-corona economy as soon as possible. So this is something everybody is doing, and they are committing billions of dollars. Some countries are allocating billions of dollars for that. They call it bailout packages, and they are in that bailout packages. They are already have allocated billions of dollars. Some countries have trillions of dollars in the bailout packages. So you see the eagerness to go back. So the question that I'm raising: why are you trying to go back? What is there to go back to? And my explanation is, I see no reason why we should go back, because that world is a terrible world, the world that we are coming from, that world that the corona take us away from. And it's good that corona took us away from that world. That world is a disastrous world. This world was waiting for us to face that disaster. I said very, very clearly, everybody knows, nobody can disagree with that. We have the global warming in that world. And it's a global warming getting worse and worse every day in that world. And we are waiting for a few years to come to a situation where the planet will become uninhabitable. It's not fit for human being anymore. How many years it will need to come to that? The scientists answered that already. Countdown has begun. It's not very far from us. It may be 2 decades, 3 decades, maybe 4 decades, nothing more than that. You cannot extend it more than that. By 2040, global warming will hit 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is very difficult for human beings to survive. But if you continue, by 2050, it would reach about 2 degrees Celsius. And 2 degrees Celsius is the point of no return. So you can do everything, you can try everything, but you cannot change the situation anymore. So the world is finished, so far as human beings are concerned. It's unlivable planet. So even if you want to extend it by another 10 years or something, it doesn't make any difference. It's a few years left. So it's something that we are saying that is just so close to ending our existence on this planet. So we know that. Everybody is clear about that. But as if we are so happy to go back, quote unquote happy, to go back to that situation, as if that will save us, as if Corona has given us the hard time. Now we are very happy to go back there, and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars waiting to push us into that situation. I said, that's not what I feel. I feel Corona has done us a great favor by stopping the engine, economic engine. We should be grateful to Corona on this particular count that they have done that. We couldn't have done this. We couldn't have stopped the engine. I try to explain it by saying, as if we are in a fast-moving train. When before the Corona came, the train is moving very fast. It's a bullet train, rushing to our death. Only few miles left. After that few miles, it will be over. And Corona stopped the train. So we are happy now. The train is stopped. We are not rushing to that death line, the finishing line, where everything will be over. So at least we know that we can delay it now. So the question is, when the train is stopped, we can now get off the train and look around and raise the question, should we go back to the train to go to the same destination that it was taking us to? No. Why should we? Because we got a chance to not going for that destination of disaster. So we have an opportunity to go in a different direction. All we need to do is to build a new train to go in a new direction, not the old train. The old train will take us to the old destination. So we need a new train, a new track to go to the new destination. That's the chance we have. Otherwise, we continue to go back. We continue to make efforts to go back. That will be very insane decision. It's not a good decision. So I'm saying no going back. We shouldn't go back. That should be our basic decision. No going back. Now we have to find out, where do we go? Not only because of global warming. Global warming is destroying the world. You remember all those Amazonia forest burning and so on. All because people want to make money. Profit maximization is the key to everything that we have been doing in this planet. And that profit maximization has pushed us into a direction where death is the only answer, because there's no survival. Even our children were marching on the street. You remember you still have them, the Fridays for Future. They were accusing their parents, their grandparents, for being irresponsible, behaving in such an irresponsible way that they have actually stolen the future of their children. So this is the accusation coming from our own children. And the question is, if our children are accusing us for destroying their future, what happens to our grandchildren? What would they say about us? They won't have any future at all. At least the teenagers came to some, they got some life, but the grandchildren will have no life. This is something demonstrated, proven. This is accepted. It's something new, but still we continue to do that. I said, going back only mean committing suicide. We don't want to commit suicide. We have an opportunity now to go in a different direction. We do that. Not only global warming was hitting us in that world. That world is also something terrible and not worth going to. It was creating enormous, extreme, I should say, extreme wealth concentration. All the wealth is getting concentrated every day into fewer and fewer hands. And information like 50 people, just 50 persons, 50 people own more than 50% of the wealth of the entire world. Imagine that. And if you look at the totality of the world, 1% of population own nearly 99% of the wealth of the entire world. What kind of economy is that? When all the wealth goes to only few people and the rest of the people don't have anything. That's what we're describing, talking about the micro entrepreneurs, talking about how 70% of the people are informal sector, how microcredit. These are the people who have nothing. And all the wealth is in the few hands. And it's getting bigger and bigger. While micro entrepreneurs are losing all the income, all the money during that, the same period of corona pandemic, rich people are getting richer and richer every day. You see it in the newspaper. So that's the world is again taking us in an explosive situation as concentration of wealth continues. We come to a situation where politically and economically and socially it will be unviable. It will be explosive. It will be a ticking time bomb. It will explode anytime. So why should we go back when the explosion is coming closer and closer for us? So this is another reason why we should not go back to that world. Third reason I will say that this world is waiting to create massive unemployment, not just the conventional unemployment you talk about, 1% unemployment, 10% unemployment, or 1% unemployment increasing. Not that kind of unemployment. This is a massive unemployment. Unemployment which will take almost all human beings out of their jobs. Whatever you do, it's not a factory job, it's not a worthless job. Whatever human beings do, they will be pushed out because machine will take over, because artificial intelligence will take it over. So what kind of world that would be? That the people have no job sitting around. No matter how you design it, that's not an acceptable world for anybody. So we don't want to go back to a world where people have nothing to do with their life. So that's not the kind of life we would like to go. So we need, no matter how you describe it, that world is not worth going back to. That's the point I want to raise and discuss. And what kind of world that we would like to go. That's also what we have to answer, and how to go. That's a very simple answer. It's not a very complicated answer. We know why global warming is happening. Nobody can say, oh, we don't know. Probably God has done that. God has not done that. We human beings have done that. We have done it through our own businesses. All businesses is the responsible party in creating global warming. So if the business is responsible for global warming, we know exactly which business is creating this problem for us. We know fossil fuel is contributing 80% of the global warming. So if you want to create a new world, if you want to go in a new direction, we need a new train to go to. That train will take us to a world where there is no fossil fuel energy. So we will be free from fossil fuel. Then 80% of the global will be over. So this is the time to decide. And where is the money coming from all this? I already said that money is already allocated. Money is already held in their hands of the government. Billions of dollars, trillions of dollars. And instead of pushing this money into going to the old world and kill ourselves quickly, why don't we use this money to take us to the new world? So the money is not a question. Money is already available. Question is, where do we put this money into? And we put this money into the world where there will be no global warming. There will be no fossil fuel. There will be no plastic. This world that we will make sure that there is no wealth concentration. We will make sure who is responsible for. We know who is responsible for wealth concentration. It's nothing new. So we make sure those things we do not take with us to the new world. So it's a question of selecting. It's not a question of not knowing anything. Everything is known. Who is responsible, what purpose. Simply, we never take any action. We try to remain in our comfort zone. And our comfort zone is so comfortable, we don't want to change that. So this is our problem. It's like a obese person, a fat obese person. He enjoys eating all kinds of food, which makes him more and more obese. He knows he's getting obese. He's getting very unacceptably shaped person, and he knows why it is happening. Well, he knows how to overcome that. He has to stop taking certain foods. He has to take foods which will help them to have a nice body for himself or herself. He knows that he has to do exercise. He is all known, nothing unknown to the obese person, but he doesn't want to do that. He is too lazy to do that. This is his comfort zone, not doing things for himself. So we are used to that kind of thing. So what we are doing with global warming and also with the wealth concentration, with the artificial intelligence, is exactly like the obese person. We got addicted to it. We can't get away from it. So now we have to get over this addiction. That's it. This is the time to get ready. So get over the addiction so that we can create a new world, a world of 3 zeros. That's what I try to describe, make it simple. I said we can create a world of 3 zeros if you want to. If you make our mind today, first decision is no going back. Then next question, next answer is we want to create a new world, a world of 3 zeros. Zero net carbon emission. That world we can create. That's no problem. It's only making a decision. That's all. We have to make a little bit of sacrifices here and there, but we can do that. It is a question of survival on this planet. It's a question of handing over a safe planet to our next generation. So each generation should be ready to hand over a safer planet than we found it. So our next generation will be handing over a still safer planet than they found it. That should be the system. Now we are doing the reverse. We are making it more dangerous world than we found it, and they will be asked to hand over still more dangerous world to the next generation. That's not the path we want to follow. We want to follow the path of handing over safer planet. So zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration. We don't want any wealth concentration. We know where the wealth concentration is coming from. So we stop that. We want to make sure that there is no wealth concentration in the world that we want to go. And there will be no artificial intelligence to take away our job. This is our decision. If human beings make their decision, it happens. It's a question of making decisions. Unlike that obese person who got addicted to his style of life, we shouldn't be getting stuck with our way of life and destroy ourselves. We rather have a decent life, and it's now this choice between death by going back or life going in a different direction. That's the choice we have to make, and make a decision and work for it. Thank you very much.